Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of the darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper, and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy. Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Want to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Master the Art of Connecting and professional speaker Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on the planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome everyone to another spectacular, fantabulous episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have an international speaker, sales expert, and door-to-door sales veteran. He co-founded The Virtual Edge to help entrepreneurs charge more, work less, and feel great about it. He is big on mindset, energy, and health, and most importantly, he believes that business should be fun, and fun is what we're all about here on Thrive Loud, so I'm excited to bring you Matt Clark. Matt, how are you today?
Boom. I love the intro. I'm absolutely amazing, Lou, and definitely having a ton of fun.
He's having a ton of fun, listeners, because I'm looking over his shoulder and he's in Costa Rica and it's like paradise behind him. So wherever you are right now, just close your eyes, hopefully not while you're driving, and imagine listening to somebody who's living the life right now. So.
Oh, I love it. Got the jungle behind me, beach down 5 minutes down the road. It is an absolutely incredible place to be.
Totally. So here's what I want to do. I want to bring listeners up to speed and have you explain how we got here. Don't go all the way back to the very beginning, but I want to know how this thing, the Virtual Edge, became your gig.
Yeah, I was really looking for something that could take me off of the physical manual approach of doing door-to-door sales. And don't get me wrong, we did really, really well with that. We built up a company in 3-4 years doing $6 million a year, just doing door-to-door sales. But I wanted something that could give me freedom, that could give me time, that could give me international exposure, that could make life a hell of a lot of fun, where I could travel and make money along the way and like really, affect people's lives. And so that was the inspiration. And, one thing I came across was systems. I was looking at what all the big speakers around the world were doing. People would come and speak on stages in South Africa, and I'd be like, these guys have got it made, man. I don't know what they've got, but there's something there. And I started digging deep. And apart from all the, the ability to speak and all that fun stuff, I noticed that they were using a lot of systems in their business that gave them the ability to scale, that gave them the platforms, that gave them, the time and the leverage. And I started diving deeper into that. And so, we started off as Infusionsoft certified partners. I got some pretty funny stories around that as well. But then, the business kind of evolved. And now we help entrepreneurs, experts to create freedom through systems, systems in sales, systems in lead generation, and systems in productivity.
Matt, there are a lot of systems out there, and there are a lot of competitors in this space. Help the listeners understand exactly how you help choose or help really funnel down what the right system or process makes the most sense for your clients.
Yeah. So for our clients, where we work with coaches, consultants, mainly business coaches, both coaches, consultants, and experts, their biggest thing is that a lot of them, their number one problem is time. Because how they price themselves is, dollars for hours, and then there's only so much time that you can sell in order to get that. So one way is to take a look at how the business is delivering the products and services and how much you're charging for that time, and how do you create more leverage with the time that you've got. And instead of delivering it one-on-one, to supplement it with an online training, or to supplement it with systems and frameworks and scripts that you can give your clients beforehand, so that when you're talking to them, your time is a lot more focused and you actually need less time with them to get results because they're doing the work before they speak to you. Yep. So the second way, so that's focusing really on their offer and how they've structured their business and deliver their products and services. The second way is lead generation. Well, how do you get, now you've got this offer, how do you get in front of more of the right kind of people and do it in a way, we use LinkedIn primarily as the primary source, and we love it. Our clients love it. They get amazing results. It can specifically target your ideal client that you're looking for. So if you're looking for CEOs of IT companies that have between 500 and 1,000 employees, like that's the place for you to go to, right? But now you've got to go through all this manual process of finding them, connecting with them, reaching out, doing all of that. So we use some automation tools, and it doesn't, for me, the tool is exactly that. It's a tool. The important thing is the strategy that you're putting into the tool.
Yeah.
So for me, like automation is not just about, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, is they try and automate too quickly, right? You can only automate something that you've got a proven working process for. So for us, it's about, let's make sure we've got the system built, the process is built, and then automate the process. I don't really care. We've got some favorite tools that we use, but I don't really care what tool you use, as long as the process is right, the system is right, and that's what's actually going to get the results. And that frees up time because you press a button, it'll do the automatic searching, it'll connect with them, it'll send the messages, and you do it in a way that is personable, so you're not just sitting there like spamming people over and over and getting crappy messages, but you're really connecting with them on a deeper level so that you can have those deeper level conversations with them.
So let's address something you hit on this, and this has to do with, you got sales lead gen, you've got operations, you got courses and products. This is a wide net of things. When you first start working with your clients, these amazing coaches around the world and great thought leaders, how do you get a lasso around this? Because they're not all the same. They all have different maturities in their business. So what do you do to help come up with that strategy, or maybe even the organization around it?
Yeah, and it depends what level they're coming in at. So typically we see if people are doing below 50K a month, one of the key things that they need is more leads. And not just more leads in terms of quantity, but more quality leads that are going to spend the big bucks with them, that they absolutely love working with, that invigorate them every single day. People we see typically doing more than 50K a month with, we start focusing on, deliverability. How do you create more time? How do you create more leverage? How do you structure your offer differently? Because those people typically have hit a cap because they're making money. Like I had a guy the other day, right? Well, not the other day. He started with us in December. He was doing about 25K a month at a certain level, and he was just hitting this glass ceiling. So he does career coaching. He works with, high paid executives, and he helps them to increase their revenue by 41% in 90 days, right? We got really specific on that promise. And he was delivering a program that was 10 weeks, one-on-one calls, and selling for $2,000. Right?
It's too low.
Yeah, it's too low. So what we did was we restructured his offer. Before he even started the actual training program with us, we restructured his offer. We created something that was $5,000, 2 one-on-one calls, and supplemented with some of the material that he's already got. He went in January, which is normally his quietest month. He did $100,000.
Gotcha. So how much of what you
and no
do,
stress.
Yeah, no stress, right? How much of what you do helps to them to identify, maybe even target who they should be going after? Because that's actually part of the skill sometimes that people are missing. Let me hear from the door-to-door salesman expert, which door I'm knocking on.
I love it. So we've got 3 particular steps in our Rainmaker lead system: position, connect, and scale. Right? Positioning is all about what you're talking about right now. How do you get that ideal client? And the key thing is to stop trying to be a generalist, be everything to everybody. Focus on what we call the power of one. So solve one big problem for one ideal client, right? Position yourself as the specialist, and that way you can create the message that's going to attract more of them to you, so they know you want them to know how to work with you before they even talk to you. Get the conversation started. Once you've got that, then you can focus on driving more leads, starting more conversations. That's when it really takes things to the next level.
What would you say is the most common problem that you see from your clients? The one that they all seem to, maybe, I don't want to say problem. I want to see the thing that they have positioned incorrectly or wrong to achieve this virtual edge, if you would, that you guys provide them.
So the thing that they do the wrong the most, and maybe I can illustrate this in a story from one of our clients, right? So Robbie he's an immigration expert, and he's built a decent business. He's got a 7-figure business. He's got 10 salespeople, and he's got the 27-step marketing funnel. They're running Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, and they're driving leads in, and his salespeople are literally sitting there waiting for leads to come in. Now, when business dips, everything relies on him. He's running the ads. He's doing the system. He's looking at every single step, writing all the copy. And I remember I got a call from him. He was sitting in Thailand on holiday with his wife, saying on holiday, but the business was literally plummeting. He's freaking himself out. He can't enjoy the holiday. And he's like, Matt, we need to fix something. So when he got back, I did a 2-day implementation with his 10 salespeople. And here's what we did. They went from being immigration experts to we focused on a specific niche. And as an example, we went, I help South African, we chose a niche. So each one of his salespeople chose a niche. So either consultants or teachers or business owners or whatever it is, immigrate to a first world country in 180 days or less. So now what we've got is we've got a team of 10 salespeople, right, who are actively going out and searching for these leads. They look like the experts in each one of those niches that helps that particular kind of person to immigrate to a first world country in that particular time frame, right? Here's what happened. Number one is that Robbie didn't have to, everything wasn't relied on him. So if the ads weren't working, he had another stream of leads coming in, right? But second thing is that his salespeople were now proactive, and they also felt like they had control in the business too. And so what happened, within 3 months, he tripled his business.
Nice. So now I got to ask the question. I was waiting for this one, Matt. I was doing bump, set, spike for volleyball here. and here is the question. Does Matt drink his own Kool-Aid with this? You can obviously, you have a capacity on your time. Absolutely. On how you work it. Share with the listeners what Matt Clark does to help optimize his time, his dollars, his service, his systems, all of that. What goes on inside of your world?
Cool. Yeah, great question. And yes, we absolutely drink our own Kool-Aid. We're firm believers that we are professional doers, not professional teachers, right? So we are the guinea pigs. Our clients aren't the guinea pigs. So what we do is you'll see at different stages, you need different things to scale, and different systems are important. It's no use trying to run webinars if you haven't got your first sale, right? As an example. And if you don't have an audience or people to get to that webinar. So as an example, as we start, we've got our processes running where we're getting the one-on-one appointments that are coming through. That all kind of happens in the background. We look at multiple lead streams and multiple levels. On the scale side of things, we're at a place now where I don't have to be doing sales calls all the time. I've got a team of salespeople. To generate the leads, we've got automation running, like I told you about earlier, that generates those leads, that generates those conversations. We're also driving people to events. So instead of me having to do sales calls all the time one-on-one, what I rather do is every second week, I invite everyone to a live training. I teach them some stuff, and I'm like, hey, do you want to implement this in your business? Get on a call with us, and they get on a call with my team, right? So that's on the lead gen and the sales side of things. What that's done is it's taken me from being on calls every single day. I mean, some days I'd have between 3 and 10 sales calls, right? Diary completely packed out. To now, my wife and I have sold all of our stuff, and we're traveling the world. I'm currently in Costa Rica. I run my business virtually. I've got a team back home. My business partner works closely with the team. I focus mainly on the sales and marketing. My biggest thing right now is relationships, and that's what I do.
So I love it. I love it, and I get it. And I think you guys got to see how gorgeous it looks behind him. I'm just sorry. I mean, if those are going to see the video clip of this, you're going to be like, stop, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe I can do that even.
Yeah, it's unfair. He's torturing me right now, showing me the jungle behind him. But by the way, this is, look, you're literally living the dream of what most people deal with.
Yes.
And I don't want to dismiss this, because this is one of the challenges. A lot of people like some of the components of the stuff that they do along the way. Like they like having the phone calls and the sales calls, or they like doing the detailed things. How do you help somebody or help leaders understand that there's other things that they might be able to like more? because that getting out of their own way sometimes is the only hurdle from them achieving not only the lifestyle you're leading, but also the lifestyle they don't even know that they can lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And, very often it comes down to their goals. And, many people can't see, sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, right? And even if someone shows it to you, I don't know if you've ever had this before. I know I have had it so many times before. When you've heard the same thing over and over, maybe you've been to events and you've heard the same thing, you're like, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. But it doesn't actually show up for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not because it doesn't work. It's because you're not ready for the message. Sometimes you need to be ready for the message. And so when we have conversations, some of the people that I talk to, they're like, I just want to make my first 10K month consistently. Like, I'm tired of this being 5K this month, 20K next month, 0 the month after, 2 the month after. Like, that is exhausting. Like, I just want to hit 10K consistently. Some people are at that stage. Some people are like, yeah, I want to get to 100K a month consistently. Like, that's where I believe I need to be. Some people want to do a hell of a lot more than that. So first goal is get them on the path to where they can see this thing as a reality, their first goal that they want to hit. And that's why I kind of always ask, what's the short-term goal? Like, what do you want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months? Okay. Where do you want to be? Then we start talking bigger picture. Okay. So let's say we achieve all of this stuff and you hit these goals. Number one, what's that going to allow you to do that you can't do right now? Right. So you start getting excited about the possibility. Okay, cool. So now you're doing this. You've got this free time. You've got all this. What's next? What happens after that? And kind of just go, work with the imagination. And, I'd rather aim for the moon and hit the stars or hit the atmosphere or whatever, analogy you want to use. But the moment that they get on the path, on that curve, that upward curve, and they can see that this thing is becoming a reality, all of a sudden it's like, well, if I can achieve this, now there's more. What else can I do? And sometimes even just asking that question, what else can you do now? So let's paint the picture. You've achieved this. You've got this free time, this money, everything. What's next?
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't even know.
Well, and I'll bleed to this because I'm going to ask 2 questions here, and I'll start with this one now, and then the last one I'll save for the end of the program. Look, you've been kicking on all cylinders. You're speaking. You're living the lifestyle. You are literally in the jungle of Costa Rica right now in this gorgeous view, which means you are thriving. But there are days when the systems aren't flowing as nicely as you could.
Absolutely.
Or the conversations are more difficult and they're challenging.
Yeah.
Matt Clark, when you have trouble thriving, what practice do you seek, or maybe which individual do you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Yeah, so great question, because that's exactly what happened last week. We ran a webinar and the whole thing was a flop. I was in a place, the internet died. We had some tech issues getting people to register. So the registrations were going super slow. And then when they did, they couldn't get on. It was a complete mess. And, I kind of just cut to the chase with everyone. I said, look, this is the end thing. Book a call if you want to have a chat. And they did. And we got a couple of calls booked. And because we didn't go through the whole process, the quality wasn't there. So now it's like, okay, we've put this whole thing together. This typically generates a significant amount of revenue for us when we run these things. Now it's done exactly 0. So that sets us back for the month. So the question then comes in, sorry about the noise here, the guys are riding 4x4s. So now the question comes in, it's like, well, how do you bounce back from that? And, we've got a mentor that we work with. And I feel like it's always good to have an outside perspective. So there's a couple of things that I do. One of them would be talk to my mentor. Another one is to switch everything off and just go get some quiet space and some quiet time. And just think a little bit, because you can very easily move into that frantic, I got to do something about this. I got to do something about this now. And that's not a good place to make decisions from. So yesterday, my wife and I did yoga on the beach. Then we went paddleboarding out in, like a kilometer or 2 out into the ocean. We saw turtles and manta rays jumping out. It was stunning. And you kind of it gives you perspective. And then when you come back and start thinking with a clear head, so, it's different for different people, but that's my thing. Yoga, exercise, bit of meditation, and literally switching everything off, just leaving everything at home and just enjoying it. And then go back with some perspective and speak to somebody, who can get you thinking clearer.
I like it. Let's do the admin part of the show, Matt. Share with the listeners all the places people can find you, websites, URLs, best way they could learn about any of the programs. This is the chance for you to plug it, and it gets always more engagement when they hear it from you.
Brilliant. Absolutely love it. So there's a couple of places. First place, obviously LinkedIn, right? We drink our own Kool-Aid, as we said, so connect with me on LinkedIn. All my handles are the same: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's Matt Clark SA. So MattClark SA for South Africa, although I'm probably going to have to change that in a while. But all the platforms, same thing, Matt Clark SA. And then our website, www.thevirtualedge.com. And we've even put together a 20-minute profile makeover. So if you want to get that ideal client clearly defined, that message, everything, go and download it. It's free. Man, it's 100% free. And we just want to add value so that people can really get that and get on their journey to start building their own systems.
Got it. Permission to go down Fun Street, Matt Clark, when you're ready.
Let's do it, man. I'm already there.
All right. He is down Fun Street, by the way. I think if this is what Fun Street looked like, this is a pretty fun street behind him. And he said he's got 4x4 wheels revving in the background. Okay.
Yeah.
Share with the listeners what you shared with me was your all-time favorite movie.
Dude, I think I've watched this thing like 20 times and I laugh every single time. It is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Okay, so aside from the humor, what is it about that? I mean, that's an odd one, by the way, to pick. But I guess how does it connect with you?
It is the humor. It is the complete, unadulterated humor where it's like, some of the things are so clever, but he's made them so ridiculous as well. And that's kind of my humor. I love it. Some of them are like completely over the top, but when you actually like see what he's doing, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And they happen so fast. So like every time I watch it, you're like, I didn't see that last time. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Like,
I thought it had something. I thought it had something to do with your jungle background here with all the animals that you love in between here. Okay, so we're going to do the speed round here, and I am very curious to see where this goes. Matt Clark, cool. I'm going to ask you something I want. The first thing that comes to your mind. These are things that lift you up, motivate you, make you feel good. They basically make you thrive. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yep, go for it.
Of late, a song that you love to listen to, or maybe one that pumps you up.
So a song that I love to listen to, it's actually a South African DJ. By the name of James, Jayms, and the song is called Still Thinking About You.
Ooh, I like this. My team's getting on this. We'll figure out if we can get
very funky, jammy, you play it when you work out, so if you like picks you up it's like next level. Very cool.
Favorite food that is not a dessert?
Ooh, favorite food that is not a dessert. Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. I would say one of my favorite foods is prawns made in a peri-peri coconut sauce with fried rice.
Oh my God, that sounds spectacular. I'm a fan right now. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert would be creme caramel.
Oh, right. He knew that right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. There was no hesitation. He went right to it.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big dessert guy. So like there's one or two things that are I like sweets and chocolates and stuff, but dessert, there's one or two things for sure.
An activity you wish you did more of?
Oh, geez. Like all activities. I'm an outdoor adventure nut. I love shooting guns, doing yoga, fishing. I wish I did more fishing, surfing. Like I wish I could be outdoors more often.
Outdoor activities. Love it. An activity you wish you did less of?
An activity I wish I did less of would be, how do I say this? Washing dishes. I don't really do much washing. My wife's sitting
This better have said washing dishes. And by the way, she may be right. So
she's definitely right. I hate washing dishes.
Yeah. So who really does like washing dishes? I want to find the person that likes washing dishes. I can't.
I would rather, but it's cool. My wife and I work both together like that because she hates cleaning floors and like I'll clean floors no problem.
There's no chance there is no chance you're not washing the dishes tonight during dinner. I'm just saying. I already know that's already on the docket.
I make the dinner. She washes the dishes.
There you go.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom. If I were to snap my fingers, Matt Clark, and you and your wife could be anywhere in the world, since you happen to be in the building, where are you?
Babe, snap fingers anywhere in the world. Where would you be? Huh? Right here.
Right here. Yeah, I can't imagine you'd want to leave. You're already there. The snapping worked really effectively, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know where else I'd rather want to be right now. I'm here.
Listeners need to know that I was in Costa Rica at the early part of 2022, and yeah, he's right. This is where you want to be. Get a chance to go there. Matt, I brought this up earlier, and I wanted to address it. So I was asking you, earlier, I guess where things are going, but I want to know the next part. What's next? What's next on your list of what you want to do next when it comes to these goals and bigger dreams that you're thinking of, Matt? Share that with the listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. So our big thing is we want to affect more people. Like we've built over the past couple of years, and I think about my business partner and I were talking about this morning, where we started and where we're at right now. I mean, our first LinkedIn training course that I did was ridiculous. It was 12 one-hour videos, 1 to 1.5 hour videos, but we put 450 people through that. Now we've created something that is so dialed in and smooth and exciting, and we've leveled everything up. Like my goal is I want to get this in front of as many people as possible. I want to change people's lives. So what's next for us and what's specifically on my agenda? So we have different areas of focus in the business. What's specifically on my agenda is more speaking gigs. I want to be talking to thousands and thousands of people. I want to be changing lives, and I want to do it while enjoying the hell out of it. I want to help other people to have this kind of lifestyle, because that's the number one thing that everyone tells me when they talk to us. They're like, I want the time, I want the freedom, I want the lifestyle, but I also want the money. I also want the impact. It's like, you can have it all, right? You can have your cake and eat it. It is 100% possible. And I want to show people how to do that.
Matt Clark, thank you for coming on Thrive Loud today. Totally rocked the mic here. Still jealous, as you can tell in my tone of my voice about this Costa Rica, but enjoy it out there. And thank you for sharing what you're doing. And I think your message is spot on. And hey, everyone check him out. You got all the links in the show notes. And thanks again for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me, Lou. It has been absolutely amazing. And let's rock out, guys.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.